Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Next Up. Today, we're going to talk about natural remedies for regulating blood pressure. Natural remedies for regulating blood pressure. Again, as I mentioned on the other podcast talking about natural remedies, if you're on medications, don't stop your medications. All right? Because you're hearing this information about natural things. However, there are things that you and I can do naturally. And actually, we're doing them. We're just not conscious of it. So I just want to magnify the natural things so that you'll be in better control of your bodily operations. Because actually, Almighty God created the body to be the best doctor. If we give it the right environment, the right nutrients, and the necessary things we need to do to it, like sleep and exercise. All right? So let's get into it. Natural remedies for regulating blood pressure. Well, as I mentioned last time, the first thing you want to consider is a balanced, low processed diet. All right? Now, a diet that is just dominated with, let's say, excessive meats. And I'm not against meats. I eat meats myself. But I do believe in making sure that there are a lot of vegetables on that plate. In my case, actually, my vegetables outweigh my meats. All right, because I've come to find out we don't need animal protein like that. We definitely don't need it 3 times a day. Who came up with the idea of us eating 3 meals a day? If you look into it very carefully, you'll be able to trace it all the way back, I believe, to the Rockefellers. All right, drop that philosophy into the American eating habits, and here we are over 100 years later. But my point again here is you really don't need meats 3 times a day. And then it's the largest thing on the plate. Is it a coincidence that dialysis machines are all over the place, particularly in the Black community? It's no coincidence. The kidneys can't break down but so much protein in a given time. I've learned that we eat in America, the average American eats enough protein in one day to last 3 to 4 days, unnecessarily. Again, dialysis machines are no coincidence. Your kidneys just don't just go bad. And here you are in your 30s and your 40s. We've got to consider what we're doing, make some changes, some adjustments to our diets and our lifestyles, and things can be better. So eat a balanced, low processed diet, low in processed foods. I do my best to not eat any processed foods at all. It's almost impossible, but you got to do the best you can. Whole foods are much, much better. Things left intact the way God originally planned that food item to be. Secondly, you want to manage stress. All right. You and I know what stress looks like, feels like, and so forth. So you want to work to keep stress under control. Number 3, and I'm still under my point A. I have a point A, A and B this time around. All right. Under my point A, again, you want to get regular exercise. Now, we're talking about natural remedies for regulating blood pressure. Well, you just can't sit around all day long. The body was designed for movement. You've got to do something with it. And you choose which exercises you want. I have some that I do. I actually have between 7 to 8 exercises a day. That's what I've chosen. You may not need that much, but I'm looking at the long term, and I strive to be consistent on a regular basis, anywhere from six. Well, I can't remember the last time I have done just a 6-day workout. Usually it's 7, but I'm going to stay in that range of at least 6 to 7 times a week doing something with the body. It doesn't have to be an hour all the time or necessarily a half an hour, but you need to do something to keep movement in the body, because exercise is good for helping you to regulate your blood pressure. And then, of course, still under A, my category A, you want to get enough sleep. Now, sleep has been demised, downplayed, but it's serious. I put sleep right up there alongside exercise and good nutrition. It's extremely valuable for helping to regulate your blood pressure as well. All right, now let's go to my B category. Actually, I'm going to be talking here about supplements. Excuse me, some things that you can incorporate in what you already do. It doesn't have to be tedious, laborious. Oh my God, I got to take this extra stuff. Well, you're doing it anyhow. When you look at what you eat, and then your plates are stacked up like the Jethro Bodine or the Flintstones plates that we used to watch, So some of this, you're somewhat doing it anyway. I just want to encourage you to be more intentional and more focused about some of these supplements that can assist you in this case, regulating your blood pressure. All right. Well, of course, my favorite is sea moss. Why sea moss for you, Dr. Ellison? Well, I am convinced after many years, 3 decades of studying health and wellness, in this country, we need to give our food some assistance. This is where the word supplements come into play, because our foods need some help. You'd have to go back and study some of my other podcasts, and you will see why in some of those, why we need to give our food some help. Go back and study the ones that I did on chemical awareness. Go back and study the ones on healthy eating, and you'll understand from those podcasts why we need to supplement. So supplementation is, as I'd like to describe it, giving our food some help. We do that with gasoline in our vehicles. And I think the oil too. We add some stuff to supplement the operation of those items. Well, food needs some help. Trust you me. It needs some help. So sea moss, a multi-mineral vitamin supplement. And if you go to ellisonsconsulting.com, you'll see it there. And you can order some if you want to get it from me. I'm not the only one that produces it, but I am advocating for my product. All right, CJE Blends, sea moss. But if you go there, you'll see the sea moss there, and you could order it from from Ellison's Consulting Services. The great thing about it, again, sea moss is loaded with 92 minerals and vitamins. Now, when it comes down to blood pressure, blood sugar, and other areas too, their regulation, the minerals tend to take the lead, like with blood pressure. And anybody in the know will share this or tell you this. Blood pressure is heavily regulated by magnesium, potassium, and calcium, which is the most plenteous mineral in the human body. All right? Your doctors will tell you that. Other people that work in the health space that are in the know will let you know that these minerals, if you'll notice something too, the body is made up of almost 3 times as many minerals as vitamins by God's design. All right? So we need the mineral world. So I want to encourage you, if you're not going to get sea moss, then get some multi-mineral vitamin supplement. Notice what I said there, multi-mineral vitamin. I run into a lot of people in my seminars and one-on-one sessions that say, hey, doc, I take a multivitamin. I'm like, okay, good. And I said, because to take a multivitamin and you're intent on optimizing your health, if you're just taking a multivitamin without the minerals in it, who's there to police your blood pressure? It's the minerals that do that. All right. But my point that I drive home with people when I'm sharing down these lines is this. You can't have a baby and you just being a man or you just being a woman. It takes the man and the woman getting together to produce the child. It takes the minerals and the vitamins to help optimize your health as far as minerals and vitamins are concerned. And of course, we know we need the proteins. We know we need the fats. We need the vegetables, the fruits as well. So, secondly, under supplements, and I just talked on magnesium for just a moment. Now I want to expand some talk on magnesium. Something that girlfriend and I of 43 years, we practice now on a regular basis, and we've been doing it a little bit now for a while. We will have about a teaspoon of magnesium, and we will add a tablespoon or 2 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar, which is a blood thinner. Now, if you're on blood thinners, you got to be careful about items like this. You want to consult with your physician, okay? But we will have up to a teaspoon of magnesium, powdered magnesium, in about 3 to 4 ounces of warm water with 2 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar. And we'll take also about 1/3 of a teaspoon of cayenne pepper. Listen very carefully. I said 1/3 of a teaspoon, up to 1/3 of a teaspoon of cayenne pepper in those 4 to maybe 5 ounces of warm water. You talk about something that will assist you with regulating your blood pressure. Dynamic. We practice it on a regular basis, and the results tickle your feet. I'm going to leave it like that. All right. Also, under supplements, my third thing I want to mention is make sure that you are low on your sodium. Now, the body does need sodium. As a matter of fact, when I get my sodium, I've changed over. Our household has been changed over to Celtic salt with the extra, with the minerals and so forth added in it. So we're looking for the highest grade of stuff. And you don't need all of that, but you do as far as sodium is concerned, but your body does need sodium. And in the best form that you can get it in, like Celtic salt or pink Himalayan sea salt, I look at Celtic as the Rolls Royce in the sea salt family because of all the minerals that are still in it. But you want to lower your sodium intake. There are cans of food and other food items too. You look at the can, let's say the can, dear God, it's got enough sodium in 1 can of food to take up your sodium intake, your need for sodium in 1 day, in 1 can. You can see some of those cans loaded with 1,300 milligrams of sodium. It's been recommended somewhere around 1,400 milligrams is basically all we would need in a given day. But I've looked at food items in a can, and you no doubt have as well, 1,000, 1,200, 1,300 milligrams of sodium. And then when you add more food items with sodium in it, and then you take some sodium and put it on your rice or your beans, you're way out there now. And if the sodium amount does not balance with the potassium, we'll end up with some problems regulating our blood sugar. And this is why we got to have potassium. That sodium potassium ratio really needs to be somewhere around, I think, 2 to 3 times as much potassium as sodium. All right, so number 4 was to make sure that we lower our sodium intake and increase our potassium intake. That's found in green veggies, of course, bananas, sweet potatoes, avocados, etc. All right, I've got 2 more things under the supplements. Number 4 is going to be to help regulate your blood pressure naturally. Stay hydrated. Drink that water. All right. Now, I've made some shifts. My wife and I made some shifts when it comes down to our water intake. I make sure we get a lot of water coming right out of the watermelon or other items like that that are loaded with water content, because we're not only getting, like today, and it's become one of my favorite, I will take some of the watermelon and the rind, slice it up, put it in the blender with the seed still in the watermelon, because the seed are loaded with minerals. And I'm getting vitamins out of the watermelon itself. So I started blending this stuff up. Oh my God. I'm like, where have I been? The taste of that blended watermelon with the seed and some of the rind, delicious. Didn't have to add any honey. Didn't have to add any sugar. Delicious drink. And you can be creative. Add some other stuff to it if you desire, like cranberries, another thing that's going to help with your blood pressure too. So I'm just encouraging you to be creative. Use natural things. Watermelon itself is powerful as a natural remedy, as a natural drink for helping you to regulate your blood pressure. So stay hydrated, drink that water, get that water in, but don't just drink the water. Add some other stuff to it. Be creative, like what we do now with the watermelon. And of course, we will even grind lime and lemon inside of some of our waters too. So we're getting more benefits to assist blood pressure, blood sugar, and a lot of bodily functions. Lastly, as supplements are concerned, there is, well, I got 2 more actually. Garlic. You're like, wait a minute now, I'm not going to be going around with garlic on my breath. Well, it doesn't necessarily mean that you have to eat garlic and go out into public. You can get odorless garlic. It's called kyolic, Kyolic, kyolic garlic. We strive to keep it around our house as well, because of course, if you're going out to work to meet people, you don't want them smelling garlic breath because it doesn't smell enticing. All right. But you can take kyolic garlic. And then if you're going to be home for the rest of the evening, hey, go after the real deal, the stuff that is raw. But then lastly, one of my favorite is dark chocolate. Oh my God, I have my, like a chocolate, what you call it, with the coffee. I'll have a cup of hot chocolate, in other words. Now I use cocoa, but then I also use, and I switch it up, I use the dark chocolate itself. And I'll just put it in about 3 or 4 ounces of water, maybe add just a little bit of coconut milk in it. That's going to assist with blood pressure as well. And maybe a little bit of honey. And I've got a delicious drink. Just want to encourage you to do something like that. And you all, I did miss one more. My writing, I wrote it kind of small to get it in there. Beetroot powder. just taking the beet itself. It's not expensive. Get the beet out of the supermarket, slice it up, after you've cleaned it up and so forth, and don't throw away the leaf, because the leaf of the beet is almost as powerful as the beet itself, or at least carries a whole lot of nutrients that can assist you with blood pressure and other bodily functions too. But that is one of the drinks that we have around our house as well, a beetroot drink, and we'll add some ginger to it, cucumber, or celery, and I'm telling you, we've got a powerhouse. So just wanted to share with you some natural approaches, natural remedies to assist you in regulating your blood pressure. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the Next Up channel, and also subscribe to Ellison's Consulting Services.com so that you can get notifications on products and different events that we've got coming out. I love you guys. Thank you once again for sharing, and we look forward to seeing you next time on Next Up. God bless.